bold journalism.
But Drew Hernandez is a strong-minded individual.
Exposing lawlessness.
Hernandez, who is ideological.
Finding the truth.
And use the word Antifa.
This is what they do.
Battling
They're
mainstream
liars. The woke mob, all they can do is lie.
These are the front lines.
What's going on, thought criminals? Welcome to Frontlines. I am your host, Drew Hernandez. Want to welcome everyone watching on Real America's Voice on Rumble, and shout out to all the thought criminals in the Getter chat right now. Do me a huge favor. If you're watching on Rumble, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Getter, anywhere else, copy that link. Blast it everywhere. Send it to a friend. Send it to your daughter, your son, someone you don't like, or someone that doesn't like you. Just put this stuff out there, because this is how we get the information out and how we win. It's about as simple as that. We have a lot to cover tonight. A lot. TikTok is obviously a CCP spy apparatus. Everybody knows that by now. Hillary Clinton, they're going to be having teach foreign policy at university. Yes. This is absolutely real. It's not a joke, but we live in clown world, right? We live in absolute clown world. So this is bound to be taking place because why not? And listen, I'm going to be reviewing this woke website that puts out the most absurd headlines. It's not Babylon Bee. It's not satire. It is 100% real. I will be reacting to a lot of these headlines. You guys are not going to want to miss this. And also, we got a special announcement. I'm going to do it at the end of the show, so do not go anywhere. My name is Drew Hernandez, and you are now on the front lines. Well, by the way, did you know that C-SPAN has caught a predator live on TV?
I like babies better than people.
Yeah. Stay away from the child, Joe. Stay away from the child. I mean, dude, it's like this is just live on C-SPAN. No one, is, uncomfortable with anything like this. Just predatorial behavior. How many videos do we have, guys? How many videos and images of sniffing children and just touching their shoulders? And it's just like, it never ends. It never ends. And you're like, oh, he just really loves children. Yeah, I bet you he really loves children, just not the way that you're saying. Oh, always with the sniffing of little kids, bro. It never ends, dude. I mean, like, whose kid is that? Whose kid is that? Who let this guy out? Who let this guy out to run around and sniff kids all day? Like, this doesn't concern anybody? Of course it doesn't, because Hollywood is all pedophiled out and they love children in a non-healthy way, and so is American politics on both sides. These people are found absolutely everywhere, and I think I'll just leave it at that. Well, anyways, so like I said, TikTok, it's just out in the open. It's out in the open, the kind of propaganda that's on there, and it's clear that the CCP is utilizing it to have the type of data be gathered for algorithmic purposes and to study American culture, maybe even propagate to drive American culture, especially the youth. Because the youth seems absolutely obsessed with TikTok. It's such a short amount of time with a generation with a short attention span. And trust me, I'm there too. I'm right there. I'm not saying I'm all over TikTok and I love TikTok. What I'm saying is I got a short attention span too. So, I mean, but these people and their psychological psyops, their psychological warfare, they know this, they lean into it, they manipulate it, they perfect it, and they master it, and they weaponize it, and then they launch it on their targets. That's what we're seeing with TikTok. And some America First patriots within the United States government, congresswomen, senators, they get it, they see it, but they all get canceled and accused of being racist because how dare you call out TikTok because Chinese people run it? You're a racist, right? That's what they do. It's like, no. We take issue with the CCP and how they're surveilling Americans, and they're attempting to hijack and propagate an entire generation. That's what it doesn't matter if it was the Chinese or the Iranian. It doesn't matter. But these people always make what about what? They make everything about race. So that is how they get away with absolutely everything, and they get away with their psyops, and they get away with just allowing the CCP run full psyops on Gen Z entirely, and if anyone comes out and has an issue with it, you're just a racist. because they're Chinese people. No, it's not because they're Chinese. It's because the CCP is a tyrannical regime that hate their own people. The CCP hate the Chinese, for God's sake. They're the ones with the zero COVID lockdowns, enslaving their own people, literally welding them in buildings and burning the whole buildings down in the name of protecting people from COVID. No. It's not about that. That's the narrative, and that's why Frontlines exists, so we could shatter and dismantle and destroy every single one of these fake news cartel narratives. That's what all of this is about. Well, speaking of that, Tik-Tok CEO says spying is not the right word for surveillance of Americans. This is according to Breitbart, on behalf of Chinese communists. Tik-Tok CEO Xu Zhiqiu said during a House Energy and Commerce Committee hearing on Thursday that spying is not the right word for alleged Chinese surveillance of Americans using his company's social media platform. Oh, yes, because the CCP is definitely not using TikTok. Oh, yeah. Come on, really? You're going to sit here and believe that? Is there anyone that believes that? That the CCP that is dictated by Xi Jinping, okay, these people kill their own people, murder their own people with the zero COVID lockdowns. You want to talk about like some serious corporate fascism? The real commies that you see that they've integrated all this business within and they take everything from everybody. This is what the CCP does. No one owns anything in China. They take everything. Like I said, they hate their own people. The CCP hate the Chinese. I love the Chinese. I want them to be free when you see this stuff happening in the CCP, enslaving their own people. Let me get back to the point. The point is, do you honestly believe, with as tyrannical these people are, they hijack all businesses, they take all these profits, all right? It's not fair at all. You believe that TikTok is some kind of free company that is just allowed to kind of do whatever it wants? You don't think the CCP is telling them what they cannot do, and what kind of data they will turn over to this regime? Of course they are. Don't be so naive and sit there and think that's not happening. You see, but this is where the deep state has brought us. This is where the globalists and all these New World Order elites, they always tell you, oh, all that New World Order, conspiracy theory. Globalists, conspiracy theory. Oh, you think there's some kind of communist regime? That's so like old school 1940s USSR and all that. That's old news. It's outdated, while they're literally advancing, okay, and they're evolving all of those practices and all of those ideologies to chameleonize themselves so that they could be accepted by the mainstream. They've done it, and they've done it effectively. So that's how they're able to get away with this on such a mainstream stage and level. And people turn around and they defend it. Not the thought criminals that are watching. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, because you guys can see this stuff. I'm just like you, just sitting in your living room like, yep, that's exactly what's going on, man. That's all the show really is. That's all the show really is just like calling out the obvious, because people just see it for what it is. But I guess the difference between me and a lot of other people is I'm just willing to say it out loud. Whatever. Someone's got to say it. Here we have some more. Rep Dunn has ByteDance spied on American citizens. Take a look at this exchange. The TikTok CEO said, like I said, I don't think spying is the right way to describe it. This was the interaction. Take a look.
And they were going to follow individual American citizens. I ask you again, Mr. Chu, has ByteDance spied on American citizens?
I don't think the spying is the right way to describe it.
Right.
This is ultimately...
We can differ on that.
This is ultimately an internal
Any
investigation.
TikTok or ByteDance data that is viewed, stored, or passes through China is subject to the laws of China. One-party authoritarian state hostile.
How dare that white man question the Chinese man? Do you not understand how racist that was, what we just watched, you guys? Do you see that video? I am triggered. I am absolutely triggered as a person of color. Do you not understand how racist that was of that white man? What is he doing? Questioning someone that's not white. This is how the left reacts to this kind of stuff. Doesn't it sound obnoxious and absolutely ridiculous and mentally ill when I talk like that? It's like, what? Yes, there's people that actually think that way, and that's their strategy. And then you get these massive corporations that turn around and they go along with it. That is cancel culture. It is a psyop in order to shut people up through narratives and public shame to the point of losing everything you have, even your job. That's what these people do. Well, okay, here are the receipts. Here's another video. U.S. TikTok CEO Xu, the same guy, literally admitting that the CCP-controlled ByteDance can access American user data on connection with TikTok. Look.
My colleague, Representative Latta, confirmed that your parent company, ByteDance, currently can access user data. Yes?
We have to be more specific.
Yes.
After Project Texas, no.
I'm not asking after Project Texas, I'm asking now. Yes.
Some user data is public data, Congresswoman, which means
you
everybody...
confirm that.
Absolutely unreal. Speaking of unreal and murderous supervillains, Hillary Clinton. All right, we're gonna talk about good old Hillary and the Wicked Witch of the West. I'll tell you that right now. University of Columbia puts out an advertisement showcasing Hillary Clinton to be teaching foreign policy there. Yes, I couldn't believe this was real when I saw this, but it is. Take a look.
Oh my God.
What is it?
It's Hillary Clinton. She's running.
What?
What? Hillary's running again?
I know, I heard that's so crazy. This is wild. She's running again.
Here I am.
Hillary, you're running again.
Well, I sure am, Karen. I just got here early for the new class we're teaching together on foreign policy decision-making.
Classes don't start until September.
Yeah, but I wanted to be prepared, Karen. You know, when it comes to crisis situations, you've always got to be prepared.
Prepared? I think you're more prepared than anyone to teach this course. Now, what are we going to call it?
Inside the Situation Room.
Yes. And I'll cover the theory of political decision-making and strategy.
Mm-hmm. And I'll cover what it was actually like in the room during the bin Laden raid, the Iran sanctions, the Gaza ceasefire, you name it.
Okay, but are you ready for whatever questions the students throw at you?
Bring it on. Now, if you'll excuse me, Karen, I've got to run.
Oh my gosh, the cringe. Can't you feel it? Oh, I can feel it. It's like ants just pouring out of my pores. Why'd you guys have to show me that? God, that woman is so cringe. And gosh, but at the same time, you know how many people have died because of the Clinton crime family. Speaking of that, she's going to be teaching foreign policy. Isn't it just so pathetic? I'm going to call it Inside the Situation Room. It's like, oh, you freaking loser. There's so many things to say about this. Number one, it's like she still hasn't got over the fact that, you know, the United States rejected her and didn't want her in the Oval Office, so she has to do everything and anything. Everyone has to cater the baby. Oh, it's okay. You're still not over what happened in 2016. It's okay. It's okay. You should have been president. You should have been president, Hillary. It's okay. Here we are 6 years later. Are you okay? We'll let you teach at the University of Columbia. You can call it Inside the Situation Room so you could feel president. It's so pathetic, right? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like, you better let us. You better let us. You know what happens when you don't let the Clintons do what they want. It could be that. I don't know. But at the same time, she's teaching about foreign policy. I mean, this woman is responsible for so much disaster. Take a look at this video of Hillary Clinton's leadership on foreign policy throughout the years.
Tuesday night at the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, a complex and highly dangerous situation. Outside, an anti-American protest. Then, a group of heavily armed militants, approximately 24 of them, launched an attack firing rocket-propelled grenades. Officials tell CNN Ambassador Chris Stevens in Benghazi on a short visit from the capital, Tripoli, along with Sean Smith, a 10-year veteran of the State Department in Libya on temporary assignment, took refuge in a safe room along with a lead security officer. But the room became filled with smoke. The officer left the room, they say. When he returned, Smith was dead.
My name is Patricia Smith. My son, Sean, was one of 4 brave Americans killed during the 2012 terrorist attack at Benghazi. The last time I talked to Sean, the night before the terrorist attack, he told me, "Mom, I am going to die." All security had been pulled from the embassy, he explained, and when he asked why, he never received a response. for all of this grief, for all of the cynicism, the tragedy in Benghazi has wrought upon America, I blame Hillary Clinton.
We had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Yep, that is who's going to be teaching foreign policy at the Columbia University, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, raising up little commies and little globalists to just, hate Americans even more and just be a total tyrant. Well, by the way, apparently AOC is pledging allegiance to drag now, I guess.
Join the revolution. I'm Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and I pledge allegiance to the drag.
Oh my gosh, a total decline. This country is doomed. Huge news. We are calling on all of our thought criminals out there for this. We need you guys. Our brand new administrator booking position just opened up. We need the most based people to join us in this mission to expose the dark globalist agenda tearing down our world. If you think you have what it takes, go to tpusa.com/careers to join us here on the front lines. All right, you want to talk about clown world and just the woke supremacists? This is real, okay? It's not satire. Just want to get that out of the way. Yes, even when I read this stuff, I'm like totally shocked. Like, this is actually the society that I live in this current timeline and generation. Afru.com, okay? Afru.com, ladies and gentlemen, wrote a blog. So this website is a blog site that has been circulating the internet for their ultra woke articles that inflame the culture war in America and the world. Afru.com is a new blog site that sets its sights on culture, sex, love, religion, and gender issues. Afru.com has written blog articles about how virginity is outdated and promotes white supremacy. Drag queens should be pastors. It's crazy how these people are like, oh, we hate Christianity, but then they try and infiltrate it, invade it, and then dominate it with all their depravity. Drag queens should be pastors. Being a cuck is a good thing, and racist articles against white people. We're going to get into some of this. Afru.com is a blog site that is written by foreign nationals overseas and seems to be trying to have an influence on American news and information. Well, let's just take a look at some of those. Let's start with this one. Apparently, virginity is an outdated and, yes, white supremacist concept. There's one headline. Here's another one. 16 microaggressions almost every white woman commits on the daily. Let me read that one more time. 16 microaggressions almost every white woman commits on the daily. You want to hear some of these details? They're absolutely mentally ill. In this article, Afru.com uses the most common microaggressions the whites use to offend people of color. Here's some of the microaggressions they mentioned. Saying, I don't see race. So if you say this, it's a microaggression towards POCs like me, see, like me, I'm offended. Saying, I don't see race, or I don't care what color you are. It's so crazy, dude. You can't say that, according to these people. You can't say I don't see race, and you can't say I don't care what color you are, because somehow that's racist. Wearing offensive costumes for Halloween or other events. Saying I'm not racist, I have black friends. What do these people want? What do they want? What do they want? You know what I mean? It's just... You can't say I'm not racist because that's racist. You can't say I have black friends because that's racist. It's like, aren't these people that are like, we want more diversity, more black people, more brown people, just it has to be more equal and have a bunch of different flavors and colors of people. But if you come out and say, well, I'm not a racist, I have black friends, that's racist. Gosh, dude. It's never enough, right? I know what you're thinking. It's never freaking enough with these people. Here's another one. Here's why you should pay POC, people of color, if you don't know, for the emotional labor of dealing with you. I mean, to talk about an excuse for reparations, modern day. This has to be one of the most insane articles that Afru.com has put out, man. They claim that white people should pay people of color for the emotional labor that whites put people of color through. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if that was like a law? You know what I mean? Like you just hurt. Oh, you hurt a black person's feelings, or you hurt a brown person's feelings. Oh, nope. We're going to pay it. That's coming out of your paycheck. Or nope. That's emotional support. You're going to get sued because you made a person of color feel bad. Oh, and not even like for being racist, right? Like just for making them feel that way because you're white. Because you're white. Oh my gosh. Here's what they say. Whiteness is emotionally draining and harming folks of color. Oh my God. Yes, we've seen the occasional performative donations to BLM during moments when the sheer awfulness of white folks has been put in the spotlight, but nobody is paying up for the Olympian emotional labor we as colored folks are expected and forced to do on the daily. Oh, give me a break. Gosh, they're not, you know what? I refrain from calling them SJWs. You guys remember that? Social justice warriors. These people are not warriors. They're betas. They're babies, right? They're weak. They're weak. Oh, I need emotional support. Oh my God, I can't handle this. I'm going to fight racism, but I can't handle it. It's too much. Just you existing and being white. It's too much. It's too racist. I can't handle it. It's never enough. It's not. Give us all your money. Give BLM all your money, or else you're a racist and you don't want to fight against white supremacy. Oh, no. But if you do donate, that's just racist because you're just virtue signaling. You don't really care. Jeez. Talk about being emotionally unstable and manipulative. It just never ends with these people. Here's another one. 6 reasons cuckolding is empowering, not emasculating men. Wow. Afru.com calls for men to be more cuck-like. Here are some reasons. According to them, cucks are an important ally for reproductive rights. My God, dude. Oh, they just... Couples made up of a woman and a male cuck have healthier relationships, according to Afru.com. And if you're wondering what that means, a cuck is basically just a male that has no issue of his significant partner or wife just being totally given over to another man, and you, in some cases, sit there and watch, and you just love it and enjoy it and take no issue. Basically, you just love adultery, and you love to sit there and watch it happen. That's what a cuck is. And what these people are saying, that's not demasculinizing men. That's actually empowering reproductive rights, and it makes healthier relationships. You want to know who they're kind of talking about right here? Will Smith. That's who they're talking about. They're talking about people like Will Smith. And if you don't know what's been going on with Will and Jada Smith, do a little bit of research and you'll see this kind of fits the description and the profile to the T, just a little bit. Just a little bit. They also go on to say the peace and comfort of knowing your place. Yes, know your place, beta male. Oh, and also it increases diversity. Absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. But you know what? You know what? All is going to be okay because Hillary Clinton will be teaching at the University of Columbia, and Congresswoman AOC is pledging allegiance to drag queens. Okay, so we're in good hands, ladies and gentlemen. We're in good hands. Absolutely not. This is a train wreck. We're like flying off a cliff socially, politically, and culturally, and morally. We've kind of like already flown off the cliff. We're just like flying down to our destruction. We're on our way down. Everyone that still has a moral code, here's a parachute, take a parachute, but people that just want the moral destruction, we just want to die and crash, and it's just, who cares, right? That's what you're dealing with right now. Is that graphic to you? I hope so, because that's kind of what's happening to the country. But again, like I said, special announcement, do not miss tomorrow night. YouTuber Sean Ryan, he is a veteran. He is a former contractor with the CIA, obviously in the United States military, has a huge YouTube show and platform, and he has a lot of great interviews, very informative, a lot of intel and experts. He's had a run-in with the Canadian government. They tried to censor him. Yes, take down his YouTube show. The Canadian government. Does that surprise anybody with little Trudeau over there and the Canadian military? Absolutely not. So do not miss that tomorrow night. I will see you guys tomorrow. My name is Drew Hernandez. These are the front lines. Hope you guys have an amazing night. See you guys tomorrow night.